is in my blood, like a drug now. It does me good. It takes me higher than I've ever been. Sends me flying, strips me clean. Acceleration. Acceleration. Acceleration.
Nice to do the same again, but I think there'll be quite a lot of other people wanting to do the same, so it's going to be a very tough competition, but I'm sure the car's very good and we've got a strong team here, so we're in with a good chance.
You had a few problems in Argentina. Tell us about those.
Yeah, well, I've had a few problems in all the rallies this year. Hopefully this is going to be a turn round about and get back on the track again and get a decent result in.
12 months ago, the rallying world was thrilled by Colin McRae's tremendous victory here in New Zealand, and for round 7 of the FIA World Rally Championship, McRae and Subaru were back to see if they could make it a double. With glorious scenery and excellent weather, the rally was bound to be popular with spectators and teams alike, and the favourites for victory were the Subaru team. As ever, they were involved in a tremendous battle with Toyota for the driver's and manufacturer's crown, their lead driver, 3 times the New Zealand Rally winner, Carlos Sainz. As for McRae himself, he was driving well within himself on the opening tests, making sure that he didn't suffer a major off right at the start of the event. He was 4th fastest on stage 2 and 3rd fastest on stage 3, all of which kept him in touch with the leader Kankkunen and meant that McRae and co-driver Derek Ringer could now plan their attack for the remainder of the rally. Carlos Sainz and Lewis Moyer had brought their Subaru Impreza up into a joint lead after the opening 4 stages of the day, tying on times with the Toyota Celica of Juha Kankkunen. If the pro driver on Subaru had an advantage anywhere, it seemed to be on the twisty stages, and there were certainly plenty of those on the opening day. Sainz and Moyer took the fastest time of all on stage 4, the 2 Spaniards as ever working very well together, and certainly looking as though a victory could come their way. Sainz, a former double world champion, was looking to score a 4th victory on this event, and it looked more than a possibility. Juha Kankkunen knew he would have to work very hard indeed to fend off the Subaru attack, and he charged through stage 5 in tremendous form. The Toyota was desperate to stay ahead of the Subarus, and the Subaru team then suffered disaster. Carlos Sainz, with his Impreza, had been going very slowly through the stage, and ultimately the car ground to a halt on stage 5. It was true to say that McRae's final leg was a nerve-wracking one for all concerned, as he had all the pressure in the world on his shoulders. He had led the event in dominant fashion since midway through day 1, he had driven faultlessly, and he had a commanding lead. Surely nothing would go wrong now. After the retirement of Carlos Sainz earlier in the event, the opposition were hoping that mechanical gremlins would strike the McRae Subaru as well. It wasn't to be, however, and McRae, having eased his pace to preserve his lead, was on target for his 2nd World Rally Championship victory.
Difference, I suppose, at the end is the gap's a lot bigger. But to drive the last half of yesterday and today very, very conservatively, which is just, I think, as difficult as having to drive as flat out to try and win.
Were you surprised by the ease with which you won?
Yeah, I would say so, but I mean, the car's been very, very good, especially on the twisty stages and Moto, and the Pirelli tyres have worked perfectly, so it's been good.
Earlier in the year, we brought you the Circuit of Ireland Rally, but there was one particular corner on the event that caused all sorts of problems. You knew that something unusual was going to happen when one of the course cars went off before the event had even started, but then it all started to get silly.
Hold on, tractor! The tractor's coming in!
Tractor! Keep her going! Tractor! Keep her going! Tractor! Keep her going! On ahead! Keep her going! Keep her going!
Make a really pretty couple, you know that this is a lifetime.
Of course, the boys in the national event didn't want to be left out of it either. Now for a further update on our Group N Nissan project. Late September and the car is coming on well down at Andrew Brown's workshop with the engine going in. Because this is a Group N car and because Japanese engines are built so strongly, the engine and gearbox have been left completely standard. Interior trim has to remain in place as well, although you're allowed to cut it to fit it around the roll cage. The rear seat also has to remain in place, although it can be folded down.
Okay.
When the back of the seat has been folded down, the parcel shelf will then be fastened onto the back seat itself. The gravel suspension that is being fitted to the car is based on the settings that are on the Group A Formula 2 cars that Nissan already run. Produced by Pilot brands, the Bilstein dampers are fitted with IBAC springs and cost about £2,800 for the set of 4. So let's hope that they do the job okay. Now it's time to refit the windscreen. I'm told that the windscreen helps to increase the rigidity of the shell because it's bonded in place. So I think that I can guess which will give way first in case of an accident. Nice little touches in the boot of the car hold the jack handle in place.
It's a bloody knockout.
And the spare wheel. It's perfect for one wheel, but for the RAC, we'll have to change this so that we can carry 2 spares for those never-ending forest stages. With the mirrors and bonnet fasteners going on, we're obviously close to a completed job sheet.
I wouldn't go as far as to say that. What are you filming now?
One important modification that has been done is to mount the emergency switches on a metal panel underneath a plastic panel for more rigidity. Of course, Andrew Brown gets to drive the car first. He's got to have some perks, although he doesn't think that it matches the power of the 2 Group N Escort Cosworths that he runs for James Cullen and Tim Ellis-Jones. Whilst the car is given a final check over by Kevin and Steve, the driver, me, sneaks in and tries it for size. I've got the seat quite high and wanted to be sure that my head didn't catch on the roll bar. It didn't.
Yeah. So that can be put back together. Like on the RAC, you think how long it is. Yeah.
Overall, the seating and pedal position is superb, and the OMP suede steering wheel felt fantastic.
This is such a, I mean, you know.
With Andrew hovering around like an expectant father, the result was a resounding thumbs up.
Oh yeah, that's based there completely.
The final brick in the wall, the graphics. I don't know if you know, but most racing and rally car graphics are done by computer nowadays and cut out of vinyl. Lack of time before the first rally will prevent us from getting it all done in time, but at least we can make a start. As with all motorsport, even the best laid plans result in late nights. And the answer to the question that we have already been asked so many times, why quicks on a Nissan? Well, if you go to Telford and Leamington Spa, you'll find 2 quicks for Nissan dealerships. Surprised? Well, what better way to get your name around? We've had many requests to show this next film in its entirety, and we have purposely not added an English commentary as we believe that that will spoil the effect.
Je peux vous demander la conclusion?
La conclusion, c'est Walter Earl a gagné. Il avait eu un problème aux essais. Là, c'est Harry qui a eu un problème avec un clips de turbo qui a cassé. Et il a terminé à 7 secondes de Walter. Et c'est la course. C'est dommage.
Est-ce que vous êtes un petit peu déçu par cette deuxième place?
On est toujours déçu lorsqu'on vient pour essayer de gagner et qu'on termine deuxième. Eh bien, ça veut dire qu'on n'a pas atteint l'objectif qu'on avait pu se fixer.
Alors vous reviendrez?
Vous savez que jusqu'à présent, lorsque Peugeot s'est décidé à participer dans certaines épreuves, eh bien, c'était avec la volonté de gagner. Donc on aimerait bien pouvoir montrer qu'on est capable de gagner Pikes Peak. On aimerait bien pouvoir montrer qu'on est capable de gagner Pikes Peak. Évidemment, l'objectif principal va être de battre le prestigieux record de Walter Earl. Et je dois dire que là, toute l'équipe, tous nos ingénieurs et tous les ingénieurs de la direction technique du groupe ont pris beaucoup de plaisir à concevoir cette voiture et à laisser un peu libre cours à leur imagination. Et la version 405 Turbo 16 Pikes Peak, c'est un petit peu ce résultat.
C'est le tout premier tour de roue d'une toute nouvelle voiture. Qu'est-ce qu'elle a gardé des autres? Elle a gardé l'architecture générale, mais on a refait une structure, un châssis complètement différent pour des questions de poids et bien sûr, c'est pas les mêmes objectifs qu'une voiture de grand raid. Donc c'est une voiture qui a un châssis qui est très très léger. On a mis des suspensions asphalte, des gros freins. Enfin, c'est une voiture qui est nouvelle et spécifique pour cette course de côte. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a de plus original? Le plus original, je pense que c'est quand même une grosse nouveauté que de mettre les 4 roues directrices sur une voiture de course. C'est les premiers essais sur Terre aux États-Unis qu'on fait avec les 4 roues directrices. Pour le moment, on déblaye le terrain. Ça fonctionne comment? C'est un système entièrement mécanique qui recopie l'angle du volant par l'intermédiaire d'un double pignon sur la crémaillère et un arbre avant-arrière et une came sur le train arrière qui fait braquer suivant une loi qu'on peut faire changer en fonction du terrain, de la largeur des roues, etc. C'est une nouveauté? Chez Automobile Peugeot, c'est une nouveauté complète. C'est pas une nouveauté mondiale en tant que principe, mais en tant que voiture de course, oui.
Pour nous, il s'agit premièrement d'être plus puissant que l'an dernier. Nous visons une puissance de l'ordre de 600 chevaux et également un moteur plus souple et plus utilisable que le moteur de l'an passé, de façon à permettre une conduite plus facile et plus souple dans les épingles. plus l'altitude augmente et plus le régime du turbocompresseur augmente pour maintenir une pression qui a été fixée au départ. Le rôle d'un Rivatanen, c'est tout d'abord de conduire la voiture. Ça, c'est son premier rôle et il s'en acquitte fort bien d'ailleurs. Son second rôle, lorsque nous faisons des essais, c'est de nous communiquer ses impressions de conduite et ses impressions sur le comportement de la voiture et pour ce qui me concerne, sur le comportement du moteur lorsqu'il accélère, lorsqu'il change de rapport, lorsqu'il conduit la voiture pendant un essai. Lorsqu'on a un mauvais fonctionnement, un dysfonctionnement du moteur, il est capable de nous donner ses impressions. Maintenant, on se fie beaucoup aussi aux enregistrements qui nous permettent de disséquer le fonctionnement du moteur point par point. On peut voir et comprendre comment fonctionne le moteur, les températures, les pressions, les régimes. Harry nous communique ses impressions, la machine ne communique pas d'impressions, elle nous donne des indications chiffrées. C'est là la différence. On a également un micro-ordinateur qui nous permet de dialoguer avec le boîtier d'injection et de modifier à la demande les réglages d'injection de façon à les adapter aux conditions de cette route de Pikes Peak.
On est allé beaucoup plus vite que l'année précédente. Tout nous permet ou nous permettait de penser qu'on allait être capable d'améliorer le record. Et puis, d'un seul coup, le temps se détériore complètement. Là, je vois pas comment ça va être possible parce que on vient d'apprendre qu'il y a beaucoup de grêle dans la deuxième partie de la côte. La piste est complètement remplie de grêlons qui font comme une couche de glace. Il y a des voitures qui viennent de sortir de la route. Autant d'efforts de toute une entreprise, de toute une équipe anéantie. C'est catastrophique parce que je pense que là, ça va être très difficile, voire impossible de battre le record. On vient d'avoir les temps de passage à mi-parcours. Harry est plus vite que Yua et surtout ce qui est d'important, c'est qu'il est plus vite que le record de l'année dernière. Donc maintenant, eh bien, tout va se jouer dans la deuxième partie qui nous fait tellement peur. Mais enfin, je crois qu'on ne pourra pas y arriver. Harry a fait une course magistrale puisqu'il bat le record de 6 dixièmes. Et puis les voitures ont été merveilleuses.
Fantastique. La meilleure voiture de le monde.
There were many more orthodox Peugeots on show on the Woodpecker stages. This is Ashley Blencorn's 306. Overall winner of the event was Steve Hill, who seems to be going better and better in his Mitsubishi Galant, and he must be considered favourite for the amateur category on the upcoming RAC Rally. Running strongly behind was Roger Duckworth's beast of a car, the 2.9-litre Sierra 4x4. He had 2 fastest stage times to Hill's 4, but just couldn't match him overall. Once again though, the car looked and sounded great. Looking and sounding better though was Andy Burton's Alfa Ferrari. He even found time to wave to Mal Herrick, and he looked set for a good result until engine problems stopped him. Don't you wish that all rally cars looked like this? Meanwhile, at the front of the field, the Formula 2 cars did their best to entertain as usual. But as we've said before, you still can't beat a well-driven rear-wheel drive car for spectacle, and Richard Goff does his best to oblige. Paul Dyers looks almost tame by comparison. As does John Roberts. Mad Mick Jones does his best to prove me wrong. But John Ballinger does his best to prove me right. Adrian Struthers is leading the BTRDA Club Championship after this rally, and with commitment like this, it's not surprising. Still, nobody's perfect. And for the rest of the day, everyone just went out to enjoy their rallying. The Yellow Brick Road Rally, a round of the year's Motoring News Championship, gave tarmac fans a chance to see some of the fastest tarmac rallying seen on mainland Britain. Victory here went to Richard Moore in his Subaru Legacy. Pete Doughty tried hard, but couldn't quite match the Subaru on this event, and was just 11 seconds behind at the end. The Metros, as ever, were spectacular, and Frank O'Mahony and John Brodie both had satisfactory outings, Brodie eventually finishing third. Johnny Milner was a welcome addition to the ranks in his Group N Escort Cosworth. Not surprisingly though, he retired with gearbox failure. Also making a welcome appearance was Mike Patterson in his Sapphire. He ran competitively to finish fourth. Everybody else just wanted to have fun. Unfortunately, sometimes things don't go according to plan. The Shropshire Rally School and Sports in Rally Scholarship is well underway now, and we have been delighted at the number and quality of ladies taking part. Indeed, it may be surprising to know that if there was just one overall award and not one each for both men and women, it is likely that on what has been seen so far, that a woman would win it overall. If you're out there and having thoughts about taking part, why? What have you got to lose? Even if you don't win, you get a day's driving a Mark II Escort, and if you do win, you get a season's rallying in one of 2 Toyota Corollas. This one with the pink seats is for the lady winners. The final round of the 1994 Mintex National Series, and crews turned up for the Artemis Rally with plenty to go for. Victory in the championship would go either to David Galanders or Chris Mellors, and the event would live up to its billing.
Stand back, please, from the arrow.
Quickest on the first stage was Brian Lyle in the ex-Malcolm Wilson Escort Cosworth. Wouldn't you just love to drive that car?
Stand back.
There's a fine line between safety and disaster in the forest, and this accident involving the Mark Pollard Graham Mockridge Sierra showed how easy it is to cross that line. Fortunately, both crew members were unhurt, but the failure of the onboard fire extinguisher to work was a great cause for concern.
Extinguisher! Extinguisher! Everyone back!
Get the extinguishers on the button. Button in the middle of the dashboard.
I've pressed it, it doesn't work.
Get the handhelds out there.
Has anybody got one?
There's a handheld on the floor. Stop trying to dance. There's a handheld up on the floor. Get out of it! Stop the next car, get the extinguisher off it.
That's it, get it in there. Get it in there, get it in there.
Okay, go.
Eventually, the fire was extinguished with a handheld, but it could have been really serious. Back at the front, and David Galanders was doing his best to overhaul the early leader Mellors. But that early break was all that Mellors needed. Neil Horns went out shortly after this with suspension failure. Jeremy Easton and Alan Cook had to work hard to win the Group N award, but they were going for it. Richard Forster showed yet again that as more and more drivers get used to Formula 2, they will not be boring. As did Julian Reynolds. At Oliver's Mount, the crews had to complete several laps, and they did their best to turn it into a racetrack at times. Tony Davis seemed to think that it was a stock car track though. Stephanie Simonite didn't have the tidiest of days, but she still won the ladies category and Class A3. At service, it was obviously bad news for Julian Reynolds, and at first he didn't want to talk.
What's gone wrong?
Basically on Oliver's Mount, we had wets on the front and slicks on the back. So when I went to brake for the hairpin, we just it just locked up at the back and we spun it, clipped the bank, and it just pulled the drive shaft out. End of the rally.
The duel at the front was getting intense, with the top two exchanging fastest times, but with Mellors still holding the upper hand. However, a small incident on the last stage saw the escort stall, and Mellors took the championship. Steve Hill came out a satisfied third overall. And Tony Davis came out in a drafty car. Julian Porter did enough to win the Formula 2 title. Steve Petch had a terrible day when a first stage maximum cost him any chance of Group N honours over. But for all that the rest could do, the championship belonged to Chris Mellors and Brian Goff in their Chester Exhaust Supplies Sierra Cosworth. And now it's quiz time. This is part 1, part 2 and how to enter in the next acceleration.
boys, would you?
Tractor, or push.
It's alright. Right, we're at it.